Well, during a recent trip to the Middle East, Trump was smuggled off of Air Force One and put on a different plane to avoid a missile attack, while reporters were left on the original plane. Yeah, apparently the reporters became suspicious when Rosie O'Donnell was unexpectedly added to the plane. And just at the last second, she was thrown on board. Well, Trump was reportedly smuggled off of the plane in a catering food truck. Yeah, to pull off the switcheroo, he relied on his prior work history in the food industry. There was this story happened like a month ago, they were talking about it, where he was going on maybe this was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. He was going on a trip to the Middle East, to Turkey, for some type of a summit. And there were reports that Iran was trying to launch I think a shoulder-mounted missile, perhaps at Air Force One. So there was all this talk at the time about, oh, Trump's switching planes. Like there's one Air Force One, but the newer Air Force One's going to be over here. Maybe I forget what the exact story was, but it was like he was going to the UK to switch on to a different plane for various reasons. And people were saying it's sort of weird. The reporters who got on to the old Air Force One, I think it was the old Air Force One, which Trump was supposedly on, were saying that they were ordered to like lower their blinds, which was odd. That's like outside of procedure. And I thought at the time, I was like, I will bet you that Secret Service and them are doing something shady to kind of create a decoy and get him, try to smuggle him around in a way that Iran can't see, if this really is a credible threat that they're going to try to bring down Air Force One, or launch missiles at it, right? So turns out, I guess that's the case. So this is a news report. I guess what they did is once they loaded him and the reporters up onto Air Force One, they brought in a catering food truck, which I guess normally loads the plane. And I guess they snuck Trump out on the catering food truck, which you can see right there in the video. I guess it's the food truck. And that food truck brought him onto a different plane, right? This is him supposedly being removed from the plane. Now, the remarkable part of the story, too, which people are now pointing out, is that he left the reporters on the original bomb threat plane. Which is it's just super funny. I mean, so apparently they moved Trump to a different plane, but then they let this plane keep flying as like a decoy almost, allowing Iran to believe that the president's on this plane, and all the reporters, unbeknownst to them, were just still on the plane, but without Trump. Somebody was saying online, I forget who it was, wouldn't it have been funny if Iran would have blown up the plane, and then U.S. leftists would have spent like an hour just celebrating it, only to realize that Trump was never on the plane and it was a bunch of their reporters. This is there's another tweet about it here. I guess this is Caitlin Collins. She's been jumping on this. He did recently call her a tranny, so I'm sure she's still not happy about that. So she was jumping on this story. We'll listen to her real quick.
Given the pictures that you can see now, it makes what the president told reporters in that gaggle afterward all the more noteworthy.
You're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would it? Do you know why they had us close our window blinds? That was not usual. Well, yeah, because you're, probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
They think that Iran was possibly thinking, trying.
Well, I mean, if they asked you to close your windows, probably they feel that way. They didn't ask me to close mine, but if they did, I would have done it.
Were you aware of any credible threat by Iran against Air Force
Well, I have
One?
a threat all the time. I'm number one on their list before you. But if I go, you go, right?
But was there a
So
specific threat today?
perhaps someday you want to change professions.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Actually being serious.
I go, you go.
Oh, God.
Though the president wasn't actually on the same plane as the reporters who were asking him that question. And when they asked him about why they had to lower their own shades, the president said, well, he wasn't told to lower his. Well, he was on a secret plane. He was not on the same plane that those reporters and some White House staffers were flying on.
Well, what do you expect he's going to do? I mean, obviously they're going to, if they got a threat against him, they're gonna shift the president. They're not gonna shift all the reporters. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, I might be more upset if I know looking back on this event, I remember it was pretty widely circulated that there was some sort of a credible threat against Air Force One at the time. So these reporters, it's not like they didn't think that there was the possibility of a threat, on the plane. I mean, they were all flying with the knowledge that, yeah, they're with the most targeted man on the face of the earth through enemy territory in a country that he just attacked, basically, like right next door. Of course, they all realize that there's a chance that they get shot down. It still has its own missile defense systems. It still has the best security it possibly can. But, I mean, what else is Secret Service supposed to do? Just leave them on the plane? Or ground the Air Force One? And, I feel like that would cause an even greater security concern. What are you going to do? Just ground Air Force One there and leave it a sitting duck with all the reporters on it, and you're still saying Trump's on it? Sometimes they are going to have to move Trump around. They're not going to tell everybody where he is or what's going on. That should actually be the norm, is for him to it really should always be the norm for you to never know which of several various planes Trump is on at any given time. There really should always be at least 2 or 3 planes flying, shouldn't there? It shouldn't really be one plane that he's always on. That's stupid. So, I don't know. I get it. I wouldn't be happy if I were one of the reporters on the plane. I think they had some reporters talking about it, though, and they didn't seem too concerned about it. I think Kate Lan had one of them on her show. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Yeah, here's somebody talking about it.
And Compton, how amazing what she is telling the world tonight with this very plain, simple language, which is truth is paramount. Don't lie about it. This is history. And I think this is where the administration has gone wrong. Yes, the president had to be protected at all costs in the face of the Iranian threat that we now know that they felt they had on hand. But look, they got him safely, thank goodness, on a third airplane, and they got him away. That's all good. There's a couple of things, though, that are highly problematic. I don't subscribe to the notion it was a decoy plane, because my question is this. If it was not safe for the president to be on that flight, how was it safe for the media to be on that flight? And to be lied to, not to be told the truth. Again, to be lied to. Because the thing is, it was the U.S. military flying the plane. The U.S. military does not put civilians unknowingly at risk. The president was gone. He wasn't being threatened anymore, presumably, but the civilians on board were still under threat.
Again, what are you going to do? You're going to leave the plane sitting there? They had to get home somehow, didn't they? What better way is there? You're going to announce, oh, he's not on that plane? Bring more attention to the plane? It seems like what they did is probably the most obvious thing. And probably the safest thing for everyone involved to do. What else are you going to do? Plus, the reporters all knew that there was a credible threat against the plane. Nobody didn't think there was a chance they could get shot down. So, I don't know. I think they should do more of that, personally. I think it's smart. Okay, so we got that stuff. There's, this is the other news story. So, Candace Owens,